Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
How good a score is 175 then, is what we find out. That is the difference between whether the Sunrisers or the Royals play the Knight Riders in less than 48 hours from now. An innings that started well, that had a collapse in the middle, and we're just trying to understand how good some of the Royals bowlers were. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, Varun Aaron, all expected to score in excess of 200. Wasim Jaffer came closest with a score of 181, but at 175, Wasim, who holds the advantage?
Oh, RR for sure. I think they bowled well. Even though spinners, that's the dominant force for RR. The spinners didn't pick wickets, but Trent Boult was magnificent. I mean, you expect Trent Boult to take wickets through swing and seam, but he found other ways. He bowled slow bouncers, got caught at short third man. Avesh bowled really well, and Sandeep Sharma. Those couple of wickets of Trent, Travis Head and Klaasen, that was magnificent. Otherwise, Klaasen would have taken the game away, probably 20 more. Okay. So I think RR holds the edge for me.
Okay, RR holds the edge. Anyone going for Sunrisers still in the game at 175, or this being more than just a pass score?
Sunrisers are in the game, but I think they'll be very disappointed with their batting performance. They got off to a good power play, but they've just lost wickets, and that made it difficult for them to launch the way they wanted to launch. And it's nearly like Klaasen was the only one in that middle order that just needed someone to stick with him for a period of time, and the pressure nearly became just too much for him at the end. But, to me, I think they're 20 light of what they need to be. We don't know what the impact of Dew's going to be, so it may be more than 20.
All right, fair enough. Now, I think bowling plans is a great conversation for this innings. Let's get the bowlers to break those down. Lots of wickets to the short of length or the short pitched off-pace ball, or just using the surface and giving Yuzvendra Chahal, of all people, a few catches at short third. Break down the bowling plans, Varun and Mitch.
I think they came with a very clear plan to not let the batsmen, especially they're all really one-paced, not to get used to the pace they're bowling at, especially the fast bowlers, since they picked up the bulk of the wickets. Bowled a lot of slow balls, a lot of short slow balls, and deceived the batsmen with pace, and in some instances, even with pace on, not off. For example, when Samad came in, that was a really good ball first up by Avesh to get him bowled. So I think the plans were very clear. They executed their plans really well. Even the field placing was really, really good. If you saw the way Reddy got out, those two short third mans, and great day for Yuzi out in the field. 3 catches.
Yeah, I will mention Shane Bond before you do, because I saw the celebration from Avesh to Bondi when the timeout was taken. Just after that wicket, he points out, knowing his style of coaching and bowling plans, and looks like the bowlers were happy to credit the bowling coach for it. What did you observe today?
I don't think it would have been anything outrageous. I just think it would have been a reminder throughout the tournament that if we do make a breakthrough from being defensive, that we're going to go back to a ball that brings the stumps back into play. And I think that's what you saw there, because I think Avesh, what I've seen from him throughout this tournament, he can go defensive a little bit earlier than most bowlers, and it was probably just nice reward for him that he knew that he could go back to just your top of off type delivery and bring that into play. Yep, there might have been a technical thing they might have seen with Samad going across the ball early, but it would have been as simple as that. And then Avesh kind of just recognising that that's a conversation they've probably had throughout the tournament about bringing it back to making them play early and bring the stumps into play to try to get that wicket 1-2. And that was significant, because Samad's been dangerous throughout this tournament. And as Tom alluded to, Klaasen needed a partner at that point in time. So, and it's also forced Sunrisers Hyderabad to have to bring in their super sub, which is likely not the super sub or the impact player that they would have liked to bring in.
Let's flip it around now on where the batters would be disappointed. Tripathi, Travis Head were all furious with themselves for getting out like that. What could they have done differently, the batters?
I mean, that's an instinctive shot. Sometimes you just feel the ball is there and then you feel like hitting it, knowing that probably sometimes in your mind you see that third man is back, but you're forced to play that shot. So they'll be disappointed, especially Rahul Tripathi with the ball so high and he was going so well. He would have liked to probably leave that ball or maybe kept it down. Similarly, Travis Head as well, going so really well. Yeah. But sometimes it's an instinctive shot and you realize it because you get so much time to think, because it's a slow ball. and then you feel like you have to hit it, and then you realize you made a mistake there.
Tripathi played such a crucial innings up top. It was a curious one from Travis Head, though. Break that down on what possibly was going on with that Sunrisers batting.
I think they bowled really well to Travis Head. Simple as that. I don't think they allowed Travis Head to get away like he has done throughout the tournament. They denied him width. They bowled really tight lines to him. They changed the pace to him, which is really important. So I think it was really well planned and really well executed by Rajasthan, the way they bowled to Travis Head. We've seen that happen before in the tournament where he has been kept quiet, I think, in this game as well, when they last met. So I just, you've got to give credit where it's due. You know, well planned, well executed, and Travis Head couldn't get any rhythm to his game.
Did anyone feel like he came out wanting to play a little differently today, taking a single early on and letting a Tripathi have a go at the spin? Was there a different game approach sensed from Travis Head for this day?
Sometimes when you're on the back of 2 ducks, you would just want to get that monkey off your shoulder and get that first run out as a batsman. And maybe it was just that, and maybe it was also losing Abhishek really early. That's the other thing, because they must be really aware that, you know what, when both of us get out early, the team lands up in a spot, and we don't want that again. It's a few factors obviously in play there.
He didn't have the strike either. No, he didn't have a lot of the strike.
6 off 7 or something like that, and going into the 6th over of the power play, and generally, you know, you can't get any rhythm when it's like that. But thankfully for Travis Head at the other end, Tripathi was superb.
Yeah,
he was superb tonight. It's a shame he got out the way he did, because it was already a really impactful innings, but if he kept going for another 4 or 5 overs, that could have been a match-winning knock.
Yeah.
All 8 wickets to pace, though. Why did spin not have the impact that we thought it would at the Chepauk?
Because I think the pace bowlers did a really good job whenever they came on. The spinners, obviously, usually bowled a few good overs. Klaasen took him down like the matchup was expected to. I obviously bet against it. It didn't work out for me, but in general, the fast bowlers really bowled some very good balls, especially Avesh. He was brave to do what he did, and they executed really well with really good field placements. Because if you see those kind of catches can go either left, right, but the field was absolutely in the right place for those catches.
There was no stop. There was no stop. There was no turn. You saw the seamers when they banged it into the wicket, it stopped a little bit, but when you're not being able to get any real purchase from the wicket, it's a little bit more difficult, and we've alluded to that when Chennai doesn't play at home, it seems to slide on. We saw that in the World Cup, right? You can make a good wicket in Chennai. So.
But there was enough stop for
there was a good wicket in the World Cup in Chennai?
Yeah. One of the New Zealand games.
Not
Afghanistan.
Not the India-Australia game, I can assure you.
I think New Zealand and Afghanistan.
But there was enough stop in the slow balls.
Yeah.
You know, so which means there is stop in the wicket, because if you're
style,
slow,
though, you got to bang it in.
Still, I mean, if the wicket's skidding on, those balls don't generally skid on. So there is.
That's why we put you all closer together.
there is a little stop on the wicket. It's not like there's no stop.
In which case, do Sunrisers have the right bowlers to do exactly that?
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about it during the innings. They have actually got the attack that can exploit those conditions, because they have played that brand or that style of bowling at their home venue with the big square boundaries. They're not going to have the luxury of having 2 big square boundaries. They've got 1 big square boundary that's, I think, 72, but the other one's a short boundary. So Pat Cummins, Raunak Kapoor, Natarajan have all got those skills. So you can guarantee they would have taken the intel of those first 20 overs and taken it and said, right, okay, this is our plan. We go in trying to hit the top of the stumps to begin with, see if we can get some movement in the air off the surface, and then we know where we go defensively.
The winning or losing of this game will be that 4 overs that Nitesh Reddy and Shabazz have got to bowl. I think if they can find a way of navigating the couple of overs that they're going to have to bowl together to fill that 5th bowler slot, then it will go in Sunrisers' favour, because I think you're right. They've got the strength in the other areas. And Natarajan as well. He's gone under the radar this year in terms of what contribution he's had to this competition for Sunrisers. His strike rate's been superb. He's sitting on 18 wickets. He's actually been like an unsung hero for them in a lot of difficult conditions. And today it might be difficult, and his depth and final phase skills will probably come to the fore.
Yeah, interesting, because they've made that one change, batting first, that we will play Unatkut in our batting first 11. Should we need the impact sub, then at least we have that. We don't mind not having a wrist spinner.
Yeah.
Might still keep them interested in the game. How do we see the second innings going, though? Wasim, those 4 overs he mentions, can you start with an Aiden Markram to Jaiswal? Is that a risk?
I think it's a risk because he can get after a spinner, and once he gets going, he can get a 20 plus over because he doesn't hold back. So that there is a element of risk.
Cummins, though, took the new ball when he thought he didn't have as many runs and one less bowler in the first qualifier. What role do we see him playing today?
I think he's gonna be that enforcer through the middle, especially with the way the wicket has played, with the way the Rajasthan bowlers have bowled. A lot of his back of length slow balls, slow bumpers are going to come into play. So he's going to save the bulk of his overs there. He might bowl one at the new ball.
This is a real test for Pat Cummins, the captain.
Well, it's interesting. I just out of the corner of my eye have seen Pat Cummins talk to Clarkson, and Clarkson's obviously spent the most amount of time out in the middle. So he'd be getting intel to how the surface is playing, what balls worked, what balls didn't work. So that's, again, great captaincy. You know, that's not uncommon. That generally does happen. But you can see that, he's planning the 120 balls that need to be bowled to win this game.
You called 160 in the first qualifier, a naughty score? Or was it in the eliminator? How's 175? How well behaved is 175? And how do you see RR approaching this? Are they going to go hard in the power play like SRH did? Or are the stakes high and they can actually take some time here?
I don't think Joshua knows a different way. He does it the way he's been going out. So I'd imagine they'll still try to capitalise on the power play. They still need to put some pressure on SRH. If they come out and just try and bat through to 175 and not have good intent, they will find themselves getting behind the game.
Prediction time and outrageous picks for the second innings. Tom Moody.
I think this is RR's to lose. And as I said previously, Pat Cummins to take 3 or more.
Cummins to take 3 or more, and RR to win this in the...
I think it's going to be quite tight. I think it's going to be
final over
19.2.
Yeah, final over finish for Tom Moody. Mitch McClenaghan?
I think Rajasthan will lose by 4 runs.
RR to lose by 4 runs. That's a heck of a game. They lost by 1 run, remember. Losing their way after a good start in the game these two teams played at Hyderabad.
And Bhuvi will take 3 wickets.
Bhuvi to take 3 as he did on that day and become player of the match in a heroic turnaround. Varun Aaron.
Bhuvi to take 2 in the power play.
2 in the power play. Panel, are we happy with that?
Is that fine?
Well, Bolty's just taken 3 in the power play.
You are the chairman.
Today I have the luxury of democracy today. You can.
How does Bolty and Bhuvi matter?
Like, how does it matter? Tell him.
Why don't you just say someone's going to get 3 wickets like he has and I have? And
I don't want to follow you or Tom. I make my own decisions.
So if Bhuvi takes 3 in the power play.
I said 2 in the power play.
Bhuvi takes 3, but he's
2
going
is
to
enough in the power play for
2.5 then.
2 in the power play. Yeah.
Change your pick.
Bhuvaneshwar 2 in the power play, and he can only bowl a maximum of 3 overs. So we're looking at 2 wickets in 3 overs, which is good enough, I would say.
And Rajasthan to win with 4 balls to spare.
Okay, 19.2 as well. It's a different way of saying 19.2
but
I don't agree with
you
that.
can agree
19.3
with 5 balls to spare.
19.1. Very well.
Sorry, I forgot that.
I don't agree with you. I make up my own mind.
Is Bhuvi the best power play bowler in IPL history?
IPL history. We have to dig up the numbers on that.
Yeah, I think he's...
Something that I can use to...
Which makes your pick...
I'll tell you the answer to that in just a second. Behave. Let Wasim get his prediction in. Wasim.
RR to win in 19th over.
19th over win.
Yeah, and Yashasvi to hit 3 or more 6s.
3 or more 6s.
No.
Let's have a look.
It'll be
The first innings, only 1 batter hit 4 6s. That was Clarkson.
4's the number.
4's the number. 3 or more. Wasim, at least 4.
4.
Are you okay with at least 4?
4.
4, yeah.
4 it is.
Now Hetmeyer to hit the winning run.
Hetmeyer to the winning runs. That's better. That's more like it. Only 1 batter can hit the winning runs. And it will be Shimron Hetmeyer according to Wasim Jaffer. Very well. Thank you, gentlemen. It's time to say goodbye. The chase is underway. What you can do to find out if Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is indeed the league's best power play bowler is download the ESPN Cricinfo mobile app. It'll have you with the fastest scores and so much more. And Ask Cricinfo can give you instantly the numbers on whether Bhuvi is indeed the best power play bowler. SRH need him. Otherwise, it's Rajasthan's game to lose, as Tom Moody says. Join us for post-match analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, powered by JBL.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.